What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the DGD Podcast, brought to our friends over at Alumni Hall. This is your host, Robert Reynolds. Got Keon over there to my right. Got a loaded show, absolutely loaded show. Guys, fall camp starts next week. We made it. We made it. We made it. That's third time's a charm. Keon, how important is the start of fall camp?
Oh, it's huge, man. It's really huge. Not only for the development of the young players, but get some of the guys, maybe dealing with nagging injuries, maybe, you know, uh, just trying to get used to being in the system and, really helping get guys acclimated is very important. It's going to be huge for the Bulldogs this upcoming season.
Absolutely. So we're going to start tonight's show off hot and heavy with that information, right? We're going to give you some expectations, what we want to see, what we expect, and more, right? Also, later on in the show, huge weekend, last recruiting weekend of the summer, and there's some big names, folks, in that weekend coming down. So stick around and buckle up. I'll leave it at there. Now, first things first, we're talking about fall camp. I'm gonna get the bad news out of the way right now. Jordan Hall will miss the he'll miss fall camp. Sounds like a hairline fracture. When you look at the D line and where that group is in that room, that's one of the spots that you don't really want to see getting injured right now in fall camp. But you feel a little bit better knowing that you're deeper, right, and more experienced this year than had it happened maybe last year. That's just my opinion. What kind of impact do you think that has on Georgia in fall camp?
I think it gives a lot of the younger guys an opportunity to go out there and showcase what they can do. Um, I think you get I think a lot of the other guys get more reps at that position. Really, I think it's going to actually end up being somewhat beneficial in a sense. You hate to have somebody out dealing with injury, trying to get themselves back. But in that time frame, you'll get some of the younger guys get more reps, get more opportunity, and who knows? It could really help. It could really help us take that next step forward.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at that immediately, right, I'm thinking this is only going to give more reps for guys like Jamal Jarrett on that second team,
100%.
Xavier McLeod, right? I think that's another name that I'm excited for, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But Xavier McLeod, that's another opportunity for him to get it, try to get ahead, right? Obviously, you look at Warren and Stackhouse, right? You expect those guys to be good and ready to go. And Evan says it perfectly too. It's basically a good way to get into shape for football shape. So, what does this mean for Jordan Hall, right? I still think in the season you're going to see him get run. He's too impactful in my opinion not to at this point. But Evan does bring up a good point in the chat that you'll have to work your way in to game shape as the season starts. And obviously, as Clemson being number one, you'll probably see him probably on a snap count to maintain the fatigue levels, right? I would assume at least. That's just where I'm at with it, and I think that's probably what would happen. Let's do this, Keon. I want to ask you this question, pose this to you, and then we'll both answer. What's your key expectation? If you had one main expectation for fall camp, what are you looking at? What is your main expectation?
Of course, guys going out there showing effort, getting better, but it would be to see how the young guys go as far as getting their reps, seeing how they monopolize their opportunity and maximize it. That's my main thing.
Uh, I think that if I had to choose one main one, I think I want to. My expectation is to see key position battles secured.
That's a fact.
And I think for me, my main one is the star position. It's the most important one on the defense, and arguably the biggest question mark outside of what maybe D line or cornerback two. I don't even think CB2 is that big of an issue right now. I think who's going to be star, is Jonell going to be ready? Probably your biggest question right now, and rightfully so. Do you feel confident that he, takes that step necessary to start at star and be productive? Or if not, what are your expectations for the star position if you don't think he's ready?
Well, I do think he's ready. I do think that this is going to be a good time for him. You're going to see this fall camp. From what I hope, I think he's going to be ready to go. He's going to showcase that this is his position and he's ready to take it. Um, and man, if that happens, I mean, we already know that he's a heavy hitter. If he steps in and he truly takes over that position, it's going to work wonders for us.
Yeah, I think you always have to kind of have this realistic approach to it, though, that if he doesn't or something happens in regards to like an injury, what is your contingency plan? Right. And I think for me, this would be a situation where you see a guy like Ja'Cory Thomas, maybe, or maybe even Kyron Jones step in there, depending on how ready the staff feels that they are. But there's also a chance that you could see someone swing down from a cornerback spot, maybe a Dalen or somebody, and put them into a situation where you put them at star. And then, obviously, I'm assuming your expected starters at the cornerback spots are, I would assume, Dalen and Julian Humphrey. But
100%.
so if that being the case, I would look at it in a sense where you could slide Dalen into star if you need to, or that's what you think. But then that would kind of leave the cornerbacks questionable. So you put Daniel Harris and I think you put Julian Humphrey on the outside if necessary. But I think I'm with you. I genuinely think that Jonell will be ready to go, but he'll be tested week one. There's no question about that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see. I think we've talked a little bit about the secondary. Are there any, before we move out of the secondary, is there anyone that you're thinking could have a breakout fall camp and transition that into the season?
KJ Bolden.
Why did I feel
KJ
that was
Bolden.
coming?
Yeah, KJ Bolden. We already know what Malachi is going to do in that space, but I think KJ Bolden is going to bring a wow factor to the way how he plays. As y'all know, we were very high. I myself was very high on KJ Bolden coming in, and especially after listening to what Kirby has been saying. I mean, I believe it. I mean, honestly, the tape is there, man. The tape is there, so I'm excited to see what he does in this fall camp.
Yeah, Keon, you bring up a really good point with KJ, and it sounds like he's had an excellent, just general time since he got here. You heard a lot of good things in spring. We saw G Day. I thought he looked really good for what it's worth. Sounds like he made leaps in the summer. To me, if I had to make a bold prediction right now, there's a good possibility, and I love Dan Jackson. I do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But I genuinely think the prediction would be that he's a placeholder until KJ is ready. And then just with that being said, the possibility of seeing Malachi and KJ in your safety room on the field at the same time, it's just, to me, it's just absolutely nuts. Because
it's so much athleticism back there.
But they I feel like the way they play complements each other. So they're playing
they definitely
each other too.
They definitely do. And then you also have, I mean, just plan it out. Really plan it out in your head. Imagine if we have Malachi, KJ, and then you have Janelle back there too.
Sheesh. See, but my thing is this, right? Like, if the question mark at star doesn't get solved, and say KJ is ready sooner, what about putting Dan Jackson there with the experience, the speed to cover? There's a good chance, and he's good at run support because Buddy will he'll lay his life out on the line for you.
He really will too, and that's the thing. You got to love somebody that's always going to stay committed.
Dude, he was I'm telling you,
whatever costs.
If y'all forgot, just go watch the Project Pat special All right. I'm just letting y'all be known. Buddy was throwing his body out there, but no, with reckless abandon. Didn't care. Did not care. And that's what you need. That's just what you need. Right. Let's do this. Let's move to linebacker. I want to talk about linebackers. What are your expectations for linebackers? What are your expectations, and what are you looking forward to seeing with the linebackers?
We got the best fucking linebackers in the country. Okay, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, shit's elite from top to bottom. You want to pick one, it's great, right? No matter how you want to do this, you got CJ back there, you got Small Monday back there, you got Raylan Wilson back there, you got Chris Cole back there, you got Chris Jones back there. Too many people with similar names. Then you know what I'm saying. You got Justin Williams back there, right? Okay, it's just too much elite shit. There's not enough places to put them all on the field at once. Okay, that's our best group on the team.
Yeah, as Dog Day Afternoon in the chat says, our best group. That is 100% facts. Deepest, in my opinion, at the very least. Um, yeah, almost pornographic. That's a sight to see.
No
You
matter
know,
who we put on that field, you're finna get fucked. All right, so we can go with a speed package, right? We go with the speed package. Raylan Wilson, uh, Justin Williams. Damn it.
I'm waiting for the innuendos, the
I
jumbo
mean,
package.
it's just too much. We're just crashing down on shit like there's no brakes, and it's a brick wall, right? That's just what it is. It's just 100 miles per hour coming at you
Yeah,
fast. Like,
Keon, are you telling me that Johnny Sins is going to pop out with a damn speed flex and some pads and stuff and just be like, "Hey, I'm here to play linebacker"? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, it's just a whole bunch of headhunters in one room, just posted up trying to see what's happening.
You know what?
All
We
right.
talk about those guys, but I got two things that I'm looking at in this linebacker room. I want to see just how much Raylan Wilson has grown, and from that perspective of learning the defense, things like that. And the reason being is we saw him get exposed a little bit because he was young and on the fly, right? And now you're looking at a situation where Pop Johnson ain't here, so you know CJ Allen's going to be holding it down, and you trust that. Then you got Raylan Wilson and Smile Monda, right? That in itself is what I'm looking at. Now, at the same time, part two of what I'm looking at, I want to see how Georgia's linebacker room looks and how they can get Jalen Walker on the field more. I want to see him grow a little bit too. Elite pass rusher compared on our team last year. Best pass
Troy
rusher on the
Bowles,
team.
that's another one. That's another one
Yeah.
I want to see. Shout out to Troy Bowles. He's from Dallas. But Troy Bowles Jr., my bad. But still.
Oh, there you go. No, I just think that I want to see Jalen Walker get on the field more. And obviously, when you have this kind of a linebacker room where it's extremely deep, that is going to take reps from somebody. But at the same time, when it comes to pass rush, last year he was the best pass rusher we had. Now,
Yeah.
at the same time, I do want to see him grow and develop. Right? I think he can easily do that. I think he'll be one of the leaders of the defense. Right? I think he's built to be a captain if you really think so. Just knowing his character and everything, and knowing him as, as Jalen Walker, right? But part of me wants us to get up to the point where you see the future too, and that's Justin Williams closing speed, that's Chris Jones in coverage, things like that. What we saw at G Day excite the ever living shit out of me. They just do. It's like you watch Chris, you watch coverage. These linebackers cover in space, and they're not scared. They make it look easy. And I understand it's a spring game, so don't hit me with this and that. I get it. I get it. But the promise is there, right? It's just that just
It's
is what it
just
is.
it's just a whole bunch of headhunters sitting in one room.
I
It's
mean, this is
really dangerous. I
excellent
mean,
point.
because really think about it, right? Like you got Chris Jones, you got Chris Cole, you got Justin Williams. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
just it's only gonna get more aggressive because next year you got Zayden Walker, right? We got 2026 prospects that we're looking at. Shout out Tyler Atkinson. But if that happens, I mean, Jesus Christ. What are you going to do with this linebacker unit?
Play the
And
ever
then
living
it's
shit
just
out of
five
them.
star after 5 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 star after
Thank you,
five
Glenn
star.
Schimmon. Thank you, Glenn Schimmon. And as we speak, another 5-star just entered the linebacker room, I guess, at this point. It's just what it is. I
I
do, you know, I
I have
think,
really high hopes for Justin Williams. So
yeah,
I definitely agree with you there,
I
Jeff.
want to move back to the D line, right? We talked about this to start slightly. Are there any, before we move on to the offensive side of the ball, from a defensive line standpoint, I'm going to start off on this one. I cannot wait to see Jamal Jarrett, my guy, Big Jaw. Cannot wait to see him go up against Clemson. And the reason why I say that is this. Buddy found that dog, Mean Street. Saw it at G Day. I just need his cardio to get right, and once it gets right, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm looking forward to that, man. I am looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to, right, just the rotation and just making sure everybody stays healthy, because if they stay healthy and it allows you to rotate, it's getting back to that feeling of this is the Georgia defensive line that I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an imposter anymore. And that's what I want. I think that's what we all want. Now, is there
Yeah.
anything you want to say before we move to the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I want to see how JJA operates when he's out there. Him and Xavier. I want to see how they operate while they're out there. I know that this is, this it's been a different period for him, but so far from what we saw in the spring game, guys was getting pushed. So I'm excited to see how this year pans out for them as well. But yeah, we can move on to the offensive side if you like.
Well, actually, our boy Evan here, hoping to see how far Damon Wilson has grown, which leads me to think that we did not speak on the edge at
Yeah,
all. And that's our apologies on that. That's our bad.
yeah.
We cannot overlook the fact that Michael Williams will be playing some jack. And that is downright scary to think.
He's gonna punch on quarterbacks all season. So it's not just gonna be quarterbacks, like it's gonna be quarterbacks, left tackles, and running backs. A lot of shit finna get punched on back there. So just go on ahead and be prepared for it. Um, There's no other
Here's
thing else to say. I mean, I'm looking at other guys like I'm looking at Samuel and Pimba. I'm excited to see what he does as far as taking steps forward. I think this is going to be a year where you see a decent amount of show from him, and when he gets reps, um, Gabe Harris, Jesus. I mean, our if I'm, and that's the thing, right? Like we know, right, or we hope that we know how things are going to pan out. But if all of this shit comes together on this defensive line like buck cheeks, it's going to be crazy for the rest of the teams that we play all season from start to finish.
You know
Shit's going
what?
to look elite.
I'm gonna give. I have a feeling I'm about to say an unpopular take here, but I think Chaz Chambliss can be a difference maker on this defense.
100% in the run game.
Listen. I know. Well, I think you could even see a pass rush. I think. I think he can work on the pass rush and get it squared away. I do, because if you watched him when he has a plan, he can get back to the quarterback. He can do that. We know him for run support, and that's fine. I'm just saying. I think this. I think Mike Hill being at Jack might open up that spot. But I do. Part of me also thinks that Gabe Harris might be more ready than we think, and
Yeah.
I think what you're going to see too. And like I said, I want to see Chaz get better at pass rush, and I want to see him provide that pass rush ability. But I think Gabe Harris can take some serious snaps in that spot, and maybe even be a starter. I just do. Listen, part of me wants to see Chaz do better because he's been here for so long.
Right.
You have to assume that, right? You want to see it, but keep in mind there's some fucking dogs behind him, and
Yeah.
we know what Gabe Harris is bringing. If
No,
you
that's a
saw that,
fact.
if you saw that drive, if you saw that drive in G Day where he took over, all signs are indicated that Buddy can sit there and make shit happen. And that right there tells me that Buddy can start. So, watch out. But I do want to see. I also want to see Damon. I want to see Damon grow into more than just a pure pass rush guy, right? And at the same time, I want to see if Mpemba took a step up too. I do
Yeah.
want to see that. I do that. Uh, Jeff Hightoff over on YouTube says Wilson, Harris, and Mpemba sophomore breakouts. Exactly. Let's move to the offensive side of the ball. Offensive line. I am not worried one bit. Not one bit. I think the only thing, if I tried to muster some sort of, I guess you can say, some sort of concern, might be the mental gap at center. Because Jared Wilson is a freak athlete compared to Cedric Van Pran. But Cedric Van Pran brought that intelligence. What is that going to look like? You're thinking something crazy. I see this coming. Yep, here we go.
Xavier Truss, what are we getting from you this year? We're going to, let's, are we getting another step from you? Or, because this could be a year. This could be a year. It's set up. You came back.
I think there's a reason why he came back.
I know there's a reason why he came back. And I want to see, are you going to take those next steps?
I think that is the biggest question, probably.
I think that's the biggest question on our offense.
That right tackle spot. I think you're right. I would be mindful that if Monroe Freeling is getting better there, I feel like he could come in and do that. You're getting experience, right? Veteran, like chemistry with Truss. And it seems like he looks like he lost some weight, so that should help with his footwork.
It should. It definitely should.
I just need to see it translate against other teams.
Man,
I do not want to see another Vanderbilt situation getting cooked like that. And that was disheartening for me. But when
on by valedictorians,
I will say this,
and family.
I will say this though. When it comes on the interior from guard to guard, I'm not talking about center just yet, but guard play. We've got 3 NFL guards and only 2 spots. Only 2 spots. And all things are pointing to Fairchild being a man-child. We know Tate, right? We know what Tate can do. But I'm telling you right now, if something happens and there's some sort of attrition there, especially at guard, I'm not worried because there is a man named, I didn't even say a man, I'm going to say mammoth of a man, Michael Morse. And
Jesus.
Good Lord help, God save the Queen.
That is a big ass fucking human.
She'd get ran over, like Ludacris said, get ran the fuck over. That would happen. He'd do it. He wouldn't care. You got a mean streak in him too, and that's what I like.
My biggest question on the offense is Xavier Truss.
No, I feel like that's kind of rightfully so there. I'm not. Am I doubting? No. I want you to show us. Show me.
Yeah,
that's all we're saying.
Yeah, it's a question mark.
But at that same point in time, though, man, if he's able to, like I said, I think he lost some weight. Looked like it. So if that's able to translate to better protection
you can kind of tell he
spatial,
could,
you talk about facial.
yeah, you can tell it in his face. He lost weight.
Shit, with how much running they've been doing, I see why.
Right.
Let's do this. Tight end position. Well, actually, we're gonna go back on this.
Ball forever.
Wait a minute. Hold on. How confident are you with Ernest Green? Any questions? No. Got it.
Nope.
Done. Moving on to the tight end. If you can tell, we're going backwards. Tight end. How are we feeling about Delp? How do we feel about Delp and Urasic?
We got 2 top 5 in the country tight ends. Ball forever. Next position group.
No, you ain't done with that. We ain't done yet.
It's 100% over with.
We ain't done yet. We just ain't gonna skip past that. I want to see Delp have that same energy that he had at West Forsyth. Because if you watch some games for when he was at West Forsyth, his vibe was different. He knew he was the alpha dog. And I'm not saying that he will be, or I think he can be, but if he's the alpha dog mentality this year, you might as well grab your damn popcorn. Because it's going to get interesting. I mean, to be fair, this kid is 6'5", 250, 255 right now. And is athletic enough to be a receiving tight end. Don't you just love it, Keon? Don't you just love it?
Between him and Ben Urasek.
And listen. If you're a Georgia fan and you have not done your due diligence and watched what Urasic can be, do yourself a favor. Not this past season, but the season before. The season before.
Mm-hmm.
The season before. Yes.
Tell him pull that comment.
Hold on. I'm telling you right now, kid is a bona fide NFL talent at tight end, and you got 2 of them. But I'm going to do this because this is a perfect leeway into this. There is a freshman from Missouri, and Jeff Hightoff believes that is the most talented of the tight end group as it stands right now. And if you're curious, that is none other than Mr. Jaden Riddell. Now, I will say this. I think the best tight end we have on this roster right now will probably be, it's going to be crazy, but I think Urasic is the most complete because he's fully healthy. And when he's fully healthy, he can be an absolute problem. Is that a slight at Delp? Absolutely not. But I think when you look at Jaden Riddell, that's the future.
Oh, yeah.
That's the future. Now, I will say this. I'm not going to leave out Colton Heinrich. I want to see him able to play some too. Also, I want to see what Lawson Lucky can bring. Right there, we have 5 tight ends, and I think all of them are exceptionally good at what they do because I feel like you have Heinrich that can block but still be able to go out and catch.
Yeah,
right?
no, I call him the bouncer because he's bullying shit in the run game.
Oh, he does. Yeah. There ain't no question about that. But
thrown out the section.
But yeah, Riddell is a freak. And just the future of the tight end position. We haven't talked recruiting, but guys, when you look at what's coming in from the recruiting class on 25, and then you pair that with what's already on the roster now, that'll be a fucking cheat code.
Oh,
man. Be an absolute cheat code.
Oh, man.
Absolute cheat code. But no, I think if Delp shows me that he's got that alpha dog mentality, buddy, the receiving core gonna have a problem to get some targets away from him. Just gonna let that be known. And that's never a bad problem. Well, from a fan's perspective, if we winning and that's the case, I ain't complaining. A win's a win.
Yeah, them jump balls finna get crazy.
Keon, years. You feel good about the tight end position?
100%.
Let's transition. It's receiving core. How you feeling about it?
It's a track meet. I've told you that I personally believe that we have the fastest wide receiving core in the conference coming into this season. And I still feel that way. I think we have the fastest wide receiver in college football. But with all that said, I feel great about the unit. I really do. We got a gang of guys that are set to get drafted this year. So it's going to be a big year. What I need to see, Arian Smith, I need you to give me a full healthy season. A full healthy season, and we need you to play at that peak throughout this season. Because I'm going to tell you, he get that route tree under, and he plays at his peak, bro. That's the thing. If he can play throughout his peak throughout the season, nobody's catching the guy.
So you mentioned Arian Smith. I want to see the consistency, right? More
Yeah.
so from the hands. I think there were some issues there. I want to see him get past that. Leave that shit in 23 and just go from there. I think there's more to it though, and I'm not gonna elaborate on the subject. I'm not doing it. I'm just not gonna do it. But with Ra being suspended from the team today, right, due to what's going on there, that situation. In all seriousness, this opens up some serious targets and opportunities. And who's going to step up to take that over there? Because I think you immediately your eyes go to Colby Young, but there's more to it, right? Even if you do that, if it's not Colby Young, why can't it be a guy like Anthony Evans that I think can have an
Man,
absolute breakout year? I
I
genuinely
think
think
this
that can happen. But then you also look at Dylan Bell. I think Dylan Bell was already expected to take another step forward, but now this might be expedited and push even more of a step forward. Same with Dom Lovett. It's going to be interesting to see how the whole rah situation shakes out. Whether because to the last that we know is he's suspended indefinitely, right? We don't, so he's going to miss fall camp more than likely. Now the question is he staying on the team or is he not staying on the team? Regardless of the fact that I ain't sitting here trying to talk about this subject too much. Someone in that receiving core is going to have to step up, or who's going to step up. And like Evan says in the chat, Dylan Bell is a utility knife. He's a Swiss Army knife.
bro, I'm telling you, that guy is Debo Samuels reincarnated.
Dude, we saw what he did. His flashes against Ohio, not Ohio State, but Florida State.
Tennessee.
I mean that too, but I was thinking if you go look at some of the catches that he made against Florida State, it was nasty. It was nasty. In regards to that, I think here's a name you probably want to stash away, and it might not be as much this season, but I'm telling you, he will be a damn good football player. Sokovie White.
Yeah.
Sokovie White might not be a name that you're going to see in the forefront immediately, but I'm telling you, the kid is a damn good football player.
Oh yeah.
So here we got a question here from Mr. Hightoff on YouTube. Jeff asks, what if Nitro breaks out? He may be the most gifted in the room. I get that. I get the question, but we're playing the what if game. If he breaks out, to me, I'm kind of nervous. I'm not saying anything bad because that means it's good. However, you're looking at ahead of him and looking at all these other guys, and you're questioning yourself. Why are those guys not doing the same thing? From my perspective, I would love to see it because I just want to see us ball out. I want to see us win. But there are some questions that we have to think realistically on both sides of the spectrum if something like that were to happen. What do you have to say about that?
No, I agree. I don't want to look that far down the line, but I do think he's gonna be good for us when he gets his opportunities out there. A guy I'm looking at to really take those steps. You know, of course, you have your Dylan Bells, but really for me, it's Anthony Evans. I want to see him get more opportunities during the obvious passing situations and stuff like that, getting him the ball and seeing what he does in space. Because I'm gonna tell you, guy's a burner. Guy's a burner.
Oh, he's an absolute animal too. Yeah, you're 100% right.
But as far as the wide receiving core, feel great about them. We got a lot of talent in here, and it's all about utilizing it. You want to segue to the running backs?
If
Because
you
I'm
want
a,
to, go for it. If you want to, feel free.
this might be my favorite room on the offense. This is my favorite room in the offense. Because with Trevor Etienne, you also have Roderick Robinson, Branson is still coming back from his injury, which Kirby is telling me that he's over here healing like fucking Superman. Like, so we don't know what his timeline is. Meanwhile, we got Earth, Wind, and Fire that just pulled up in the last recruiting class with Nate Frazier, Chauncey Bowens, and Dwight Phillips Jr. Uh, it's beautiful. I'm excited. I'm excited for our running back room. Trevor Etienne is going to add an element to our offense that we have been missing for a very, very long time. Now, you got to understand with last year, our running back room was extremely beat up throughout the season. And honestly, it started coming into the season. So there's that. But when I look at these guys, I look at, what we've added with Trevor Etienne, the home run ability is crazy because you got to really think about it. With the running backs that we had last year, a lot of guys wasn't getting touched like out of the backfield. They really didn't get touched until they really met the linebackers, which if you're telling me you done put a guy like Trevor Etienne into this team and into this fold, bruh, if you're not close, you're not catching him. Like, and we've seen that just being Georgia fans. If you think back to just last year, the cocktail party. If it wasn't for Raylan Wilson closing that gap, man, I mean, shit, that could have been a house. He could have house called us. But then again, you are also probably talking one of, if not the fastest linebacker out of the room that had to hawk him down and catch him. A lot of these other teams that we're going to be facing this year, they don't have a Raylan Wilson and they run it. They don't have a Raylan Wilson in their linebacker room. So, I mean, I'm really excited for Trevor. I think this is going to be a great season. Frazier will help. Harry Frazier will help a lot. Okay? Because let me tell you something. If it's shotgun formation and Carson got him on a wheel route, you can forget to cover him all you want to. House call. Doorbell.
Yeah. See,
Ring camera. Come outside. I'm here in the end zone.
Sorry.
It's over with.
I envisioned the dogs losing their collective shit. So,
Man.
Oh, man. You took a lot of thunder from me, but I'm going to go with this. I think there's strong optimism with Branson Robinson, and I think he's ahead of schedule, even more so to the delight of Georgia staff. And what if we see him come out and actually practice in fall camp?
Bro, he's fucking healing like Nick Chubb. And
it's scary. It's scary.
Fucking scary, bro. Nick Chubb, by the way, tore his ACL, right? All right, he's deadlifting like 600 pounds.
It's a fucking man-child.
600 pounds, sorry. Squatting 600 pounds already.
If you believe in God, that man was touched by the Holy Ghost.
Bro, there's no other way to describe it. How the fuck do you heal like that? And
that's crazy shit.
Bro, Nick Chubb got hurt halfway through the season.
Yeah, that's just freaky stuff. I just hope him.
I was out for the rest of the year.
I wish him the best of health too.
I do too, but that shit's crazy for you to already be back.
Yeah,
and not just back. Oh, I can walk around, and I'm good. You're out here squatting, heavy, ass to grass. Already, it's insane to me. It's insane.
Apparently, Evan said he's sprinting full field at Browns camp already. Well, the question of that is, it's not a matter of straight line; it's a matter of cutting with those kind of injuries. But that's still impressive.
Now, if he going crazy with the jukes, like on some freaked out analog type stuff, then yeah, that's.
I don't know, Keon. I think one of my main expectations for this running back room and what it can bring as the season comes on is weapons out of the backfield. I think I liked Etienne's juice and it showed at G Day, right? But I want to see him out of the backfield. I want to see like a Nate Frazier out of the backfield, right? What can Dwight Phillips do? I want to see him get used. I think you need to get him used because Buddy is at world-class speed too. So you look at all the speed, and if with Dwight Phillips at running back, whether it be a gadget back or however you use, that's another question that I have. How are you going to utilize him?
Dwight
Because
Phillips on a fucking wheel route.
that's Olympic speed, dude. That's Olympic speed.
Yeah, bro. Dwight Phillips on a wheel route just sounds like the craziest shit.
Sounds like, what if you had a double wheel route with, think about this. What if you had a double wheel route, one from Dwight Phillips, the other from Oscar Delt? Splitting opposite sides.
What if one was like Oscar? What if one was like Dwight Phillips and Arian Smith?
I don't know if I'd wanted that, honestly. I'd want one size with a 50-50 ball possession, better possession, and then one with pure speed, burning speed. I get the logic.
I mean, I'm just telling you, both of those guys are streaking downfield wide open.
I know, but at the same time,
hey, nobody's near me. COVID, social distancing.
Carson Beck would sling that bitch to him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that you better turn around, or you about to get punched in the back of the head with this football.
You about to get blown by,
bro. I'm telling you. And then that's the thing I think people don't understand outside of the fan base, as far as like the way how our offense is constructed. It's really, our offense is really set up for Carson Beck to be completely successful. And then we have so many weapons in so many different position rooms to where now it's like, I mean, because we all get nervous going into a fall camp. This is the only year that I can honestly say I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous for our offense. I'm not, like, in any way, shape.
And Kirby's even said that. Like, he feels like this has the potential to be great, and that coming from Kirby is kind of scary to me because he does not say that about offense.
You also got to think, this is the most stacked offense he's ever had since he's been here at Georgia all at one time. Like, I mean, it's going to be one of those years, man. Like, this is the most packed our offense, I think, have ever been in one time. So it's just going to look crazy, to be all the way real.
There's no question. And I'm going to break this down more when we move over to the quarterbacks. From a running back perspective, there's a plethora of weapons, different niches within the offense. I do want to see ETN and pass blocking. And the reason why I say that is just to prove a damn Gator wrong.
Yeah.
Prove them Gator fans wrong.
I'm telling you, Pass Pro, it's Pass Pro is really just, that's an effort thing.
See, I want to see him put a linebacker on his ass in the cocktail party and then run between the tackles and score. And then, Keon, what happens after you score if it's ETN in the cocktail party?
Oh, no, he's going to Gator chomp. I'm going to be there. I can't wait to see it.
Gator chomp in the red and black would be creme de la creme in regards to trolling. I couldn't be mad.
100%.
It couldn't happen 100%. To a better. It couldn't happen to a better program.
Oh, no, for real.
With that being said, let's transition to the quarterbacks real quick before we talk about this recruiting weekend. Obviously, everything starts around Carson Beck taking that next step, right? Being the second-year starter. Expectations are higher, right? He has grown in swagger and confidence too, and it's kind of the shit that you want to see, right? The Lambo, right? The Cavender, whatever, one of the Cavender twins or whatever name is. I don't know who it is. I forgot. Shit like that instills that confidence in you. I don't want it to get to his head, but I want to see him celebrate a touchdown a little bit more than what we would see in the past year, right? But if I'm complaining about that, that tells you what you need to know about him on the field. Keon, I think Keon's struggling for words here.
he's got this thing about him, right? Iced out, media days, fresh fade, Cuban link, stunting on him, Rolly, nice watch. Suit was clean. Urus, Lambo, know what it is. Popped out with a Cavender. Which one? We don't care. He's just, and then he's put on size too. You could look at him and tell he's gained about a good 20, 25 pounds. Man, I mean, there's so many different aspects about Carson that I truly do like, and his style of play is really what stuck out to me. I mean, his accuracy. He's the best quarterback in the country when it comes to facing zone coverage. So if you're not playing, man, you're fucked. Uh, as Tennessee, um, as far as just ball placement, one of the honestly, the greatest quarterback in college right here, right now, when it comes to ball placement and accuracy. My biggest thing for Carson and my only thing for Carson, can you get the deep ball down? If you can get that, we're going to be blowing teams the fuck out, okay? Blowing teams all the way out very often throughout this season. There's a lot of teams we're going to face on this schedule. I know it's a tough schedule, but a lot of those teams on that schedule don't have good DBs. Let's be all the way real, right? And we have the wide receivers to take the top off of damn near, I'll say all, but if at worst, maybe two defenses that we're going to play this season. Carson, if you can get the deep ball down, buddy, I'm telling you, it's real Heisman conversation. It's real number one pick overall. Because right here, right now, there's not a quarterback that has better ball placement than him. There's like, and there's other quarterbacks. No matter if you want to go Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, that's fine. These guys, I think they're going to take a step. They got a lot of stuff to work on. Carson, you really got one real thing. Can you get the deep ball down? That's really it. Because when it comes to ball placement, when it comes to accuracy, there's nobody in college that's touching this guy. Off of those two things alone, ball placement and accuracy, there's nobody in college football that's throwing a football every snap or every other snap. They're not touching this guy. So I'm really excited for Carson. Of course, bigger things are on his shoulders now. Moving into this season, moving into this fall camp, really just show these guys like, hey man, it's CB, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's C-back, man. Like, it's real first round shit right here, real Heisman favorite, you know.
Keon, I just want to let it be known, this take that and this rant that you went on for several minutes, you started off like a mute kid struggling for words, but by the end you were spitting like Sylvester's trying to spell out his S's.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I got a lot of high hopes for Carson. He's earned a lot of respect for me, and not just me, but our fan base, and he deserves that shit. Because right here, right now, if we're just gonna be honest, we can look at the numbers. He's top 5 most accurate quarterback we've ever had right now.
Hey, check this out. If you're in the chat and you're listening on X or YouTube, if you think Carson Beck's going to win the Heisman, like and subscribe or follow us on Twitter.
You know what I'm saying? Podcast.
Listen, I'm just going to let it be known. You took all the thunder about Carson Beck. So leave me, all right, spare me the backup situation, because that honestly is another one that I'm curious to see. Where's Rashada sit in this? And you can't also forget Pug either. But I think at where it sits right now, I think you're going to have Stockton and then Rashada. But if Rashada starts getting that offense down, right? To be fair, didn't have much time, so it is what it is. But I think, genuinely speaking, whoever the backup is, we're going to find out what they're made of early. And I think Georgia needs to do this. They need to dominate. and they need to put games out of reach early enough to where you can sit there. And I'd like to see it in the SEC games. I'd love to see it, whatever. The more SEC games, the better. But give me a whole half of Gunnar Stockton just to see, and let him operate the offense, just like what we saw in the Orange Bowl against Florida State. I need that. I need it.
Give me Jaden Rashada. I think he's the more talented QB. I think that he is actually going to be the future for this team. I don't think it's going to be Gunnar Stockton. To be all the way fair, I think honestly Gunnar Stockton is transferring out this offseason, to be all the way real. But that's why when it comes to fall camp, I want to see a true battle between those two, between Gunnar Stockton and between Jada Rashada. Because I think if it's a true battle and Jaden earns that number 2 spot, I want to see him get those reps. I want to see him get that valuable time. Because just like how that shit helped Carson, that's going to help Jaden. I really do want to see it. Because honestly, I just don't think.
I think it's going to be whoever has the better week of practice. Like, to be fair,
if it's going to be the whoever has the better week of practice between those two, it's going to be Jaden Rashada. I'm calling the shot.
The crazy thing is I still need to see better intermediate and short routes, but his deep ball was actually pretty clean for Arizona State.
Dude. I just don't think – my thing with Gunnar Stockton is that, like, you haven't shown the ability to really be able to maximize your options amongst the offense. Like, you still haven't shown that you know how to run the offense. So I don't know if it's a level of competence or what, but I'm just here letting y'all know he's not going to be the quarterback for the future. Gunnar Stockton's not going to be the guy.
Well, you heard it there first. I'm not going to put I'm not putting anybody in the portal, but either way. Any final?
Y'all want to keep winning, right? Y'all want to keep winning, right? Jaden Rashada.
I want to ask this, or I want to do this. Any final thoughts? We've covered the whole team. Any final thoughts on this, as we preview fall camp start next week?
The future of the quarterback room at the University of Georgia is very bright. The future of the offense is very bright. It's in great hands moving forward, I believe. Our defense is going to look scarier and scarier as the years go on. But this year, I think it's going to be a tone set. I think these guys have something to prove. And I see Jeff Puglisi. He's going to be another guy. He's throwing seeds, bro. Straight out piss missiles. Once he gets the opportunity to get healthy and get back into it all. But do you think Dom gets 1,000 yards? No, not at all. And if he does, if Dom gets 1,000 yards, I'll be honest with you, he'll probably be one of the first wide receivers.
He better be in the Biletnikoff situation.
Oh, 100%. You get 1,000 yards at Georgia, and that shit ain't happening. How long? What?
Terrence Edwards, I think.
Yeah. I don't think he gets 1,000 yards though. I'm gonna be all the way real.
I don't know. Harry Leggy says receivers under pressure. I don't necessarily know if it's under pressure as much as just develop and produce, right? Go out there, block your ass off. Go out there, win your one-on-ones, win the moments, right? Win your moment. Go from there.
I'm gonna say
plays when it comes your way.
Jeff, I'm gonna say under on that. Give me 925.
I'm gonna go under as well. Jeff Hightough, for those listening, Jeff Hightough says over under on Lovett is 990 yards. I'm going under. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Georgia
gonna be passing the ball to too many people this year for him to get that.
And you've also got a running back that can actually run between the tackles again and have that breakaway speed. So we'll see. But I'm gonna go under. Listen, if that right there is an under that I'll take right now, but if it hits the over, I'll take that loss. I don't give a damn.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think if we're saying under because we think that we're gonna end up passing the ball a lot, and I'm saying like his max to me, Dom's max this year probably be in the 920s, maybe 930. That probably might be his max. But if he does get 1,000 yards this year, we probably had the best offense in the conference.
Country. Fuck that. Country.
That too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Let's do this. Guys, the show is brought to you by our friends over at Alumni Hall. We said it before to start the show. We're going to do it again. It bears repeating. It is where dog fans shop. Do us a favor. Go to dgdpodcast.com/alumni hall, and you can shop their website, right, using our links on our website. When you shop Alumni Hall on our website, 8% of your total order will go to the Classic City Collective on behalf of the DGD podcast. So make sure you first off go follow them, right? Alumni Hall UGA on their socials, right? DGDpodcast.com. You can find them in the sponsors tab. You can go shop on our website, and it'll take you there. Go shop and help the collective as well, because it's all about them dogs. It is where dogs shop. But while we're talking about Alumni Hall, guys, I have an announcement. Stay tuned. You need to be following us on Twitter for this. But Wednesday, August 1st, something will come out. There will be a post. I need you to pay attention to this. If you're listening, if you're watching right now, make sure you're following both of us, DGD Podcast, right, and Alumni Hall. You will understand why then. You will understand why we're teasing the announcement. Okay, it's coming Wednesday.
This is the ticket.
Yes, it is.
It's happening.
Just right now. Yeah. Anyways, make sure you're following them. Thanks Alumni Hall for sponsoring the show. We love Alumni Hall. Get all your nice Nike. See this right here? Alumni Hall. They got all your licensed Nike apparel. All your dog apparel is licensed. Go get you some today. Guys, it's about time. Oh, wait a minute. Might be Thursday. Sorry, guys. My bad. Correction. August 1st. I'm just going to leave it here. Forget the damn day. August 1st. Tune in on Twitter. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah. Great White Buffalo. I'm sorry. Great White Buffalo. Anyways, let's move on. Keon, last recruiting weekend is starting technically now. It is Friday. It is Friday evening when we're recording this. You might hear it if you're listening on podcast. You might hear it tomorrow morning. Regardless.
Right there.
Yeah, there you go. Regardless, cookout weekend, guys.
Yep.
This is a list, but I think I'm gonna start off with the big fish. Okay, the big fish made news. It made a splash Monday morning. Justice Terry in town. Yeah, but you've got a huge list of players here for the visit, for the cookout. We'll start off with quarterbacks, right? Jared Curtis, Ryan Montgomery, both of them down here this weekend. Bo Walker, Anthony Rogers, and also our guy Rusty dropped the news. Chroma is coming in. Osman Chroma.
Wait, what? In. That's happening?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was news. That's breaking news to me. I didn't know about that one, but
I want to say I saw that. I'm pretty sure Rusty let that be known.
Oh, wow.
So running back room at the cookout just got interesting too. Oh yeah, Osmani Chroma will be there.
Isn't he committed somewhere?
Chroma?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking Rogers. Rogers is the Bama commit.
Yeah.
Rogers is the Bama commit. But you look at this though. Like I said, Bo Walker, Anthony Turbo Rogers, and then Osmani Chroma. You got Landon Rawdon, Talon Taylor, Talon Taylor, Aaron Gregory, and Devin Carter. You got Ethan Barbour, Nayland Scott, Jackson Cantwell, that's 2026 guy. Watch out for that dude. He's a dog. Mason Short, Donnie Glover coming in. Elijah Griffin, Stephon Shivers, and Christian Garrett. You've got Isaiah Gibson. So the big three are going to be in town.
The biggest of three.
And Darren Akinnigbon. You got Zayden Walker and Tyler Atkinson. You got Jalen Morgan, Shamari Earls, Jonte Gilbert, and Dominic Kelly.
Wait.
Your edge class is coming down this weekend.
Hey, man, look. It's going to be a whole family reunion at the University of Georgia. We're going to have brothers linking up. It's going to be a big family affair. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be beautiful.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
So Evan's saying that Tyler won't be there. We shall see.
I
think to be fair, he might go to both. I'm curious to see if he goes to Athens.
What do you mean both?
I think you could say that he might be at Big Cat Weekend for Auburn, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna hold a judgment that says he makes it into Athens. We shall see, though. So that one's one to keep an eye out for, at the very worst. At the very worst.
Hey, man. It's gonna be a lot of elite shit happening.
By the way, we haven't talked about this. Georgia's offensive line got another commit, by the way. Since we did our last show. And that is Cortez Smith, announced on the 20th. Yeah.
We got
no.
We got the 7-footer, and then we got Cortez Smith.
Cortez Smith committed on the 20th. And it's interesting, right? Like we had talked about July 20th before being a huge day for Georgia. It turned out to not be. Just shows you how things change in recruiting and how fast things change. Just going to leave that there. Congratulations to my guy, Bryce. He knows. Committed to Clemson. Congrats to him. Looking forward to watching him play. Definitely looking forward to watching him play at the next level. Going to be fun to watch for sure. I will say this, though. I think things changed when Isaiah Gibson popped in. I think Georgia started looking at their numbers and feeling a little bit more comfortable with it. And sometimes things like that just happen. And it's a part of business, I guess. In all honesty, I think, for Bryce's sake, I think him going to Clemson, you're still going to get developed. There's still good, easy potential to go to the NFL. And at the same time, there's easier path to playing time in a two true edge rush system compared to what Georgia does. And I think that was an easy choice once Georgia felt confident where they were. So I did say, however, to watch out for Duke, folks, if you forgot. I did say that Duke was going to be a bigger problem than people thought. And if it makes you feel any better, there were some people that dropped Duke crystal balls, if you follow those. Ultimately, we're wrong. However, there was some smoke there.
Duke got crystal balls in football?
Yeah. It was literally 24/7, had a toss-up 50-50. But he woke up.
Shout out to Bryce, bro. For you to have the grades to even be considered to play at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Super smart kid, man. Super smart kid.
Yeah,
and he plays.
Shout out to Bryce.
I mean, he's a multi-sport athlete too. So I mean.
Oh wait, he plays basketball?
Yeah, he plays for Grimsley. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. Yep, hey, that he does. Let's think. But outside of that, though, Keon, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out because it is the final recruiting weekend of the summer. I do want to give a shout out to a couple guys. Got Georgia offers today. A couple guys up here from North Carolina, man. Went down and camped because the camp was out today. Excuse me. Elijah Littlejohn, Charlotte Christian, up here in Charlotte area, got an offer, and a kid from Millbrook, 2027 kid, got an offer too. So Schumann be throwing them offers out there. I'll leave it there. I'm assuming you were looking forward to seeing if there's anything here. I'm going to pose this question.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it happens or not, we'll see. Do you think Justice Terry commits this weekend?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Why do you think that?
Because I think this is like we man, look, there were people who were saying that Justice Terry was expected to commit earlier than now. Now for whatever reason it didn't happen. I think this is gonna be a perfect opportunity for Kirby, for Trey Scott to get in those guys' ear and be like, hey man, you already know you coming here. Go ahead and drop that note. Shut that recruiting down and let's really lock in.
That would be interesting for sure. Um, I don't necessarily feel comfortable that he commits this weekend, but I will say this. I definitely think that it's a big deal. Oh, by the way, sorry guys. The kid from Millbrook, Quentin
Mm-hmm.
Cipher. Quentin Cipher from Millbrook. Got a 2027 linebacker tight end, 6'3", 215. I think he'll probably be a linebacker. He got an offer as well today. So a couple kids up here in the North Carolina, y'all know how I am. Get their offers today from Georgia, and that'll be interesting there. Harry, so this is a couple comments here. Evan Grimes thinks that he announces it in August. Maybe so. I don't necessarily think he commits this weekend publicly.
Yeah, I think that silent commit has already happened. I think this is the week he goes public, or I think this is the weekend he goes public.
It's very possible. I know I'm expecting Elijah Griffin to be more of an early signing day type thing. Regardless of the fact, bringing Justice Terry on the last visiting weekend before a month dead period is always big. It's always big. So I'm looking forward to that. Is there anything you want to talk about before we finish up this recruiting weekend?
Can we get a quick ISO here?
Yeah, give me a second. Hold on. Oop.
I'm here letting you know if your recruits show up to Athens, Georgia this weekend. Hey man, you had a good run. That's all I gotta say. They show up this weekend. It's over for you. That's it.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's a damn good way to finish this thing off, man. Listen, we're not doing a draft tonight. We might be back with that one next week, maybe. And we're thinking of a good one to go off of. We've had some good ones, but I think we're going to push for next week on that one. Next episode, you'll get the draft. We'll figure that out. But with that being said, Ken, any final thoughts before we end tonight's or end the show?
It's a cookout, right?
Yeah.
Last year was a scavenger hunt.
Well, they do. Well, keep in mind they do scavenger hunt and cookout. Just different
So
time.
okay. So either way, we outside.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hot summer.
I'm with it. Guys, we're here. We made it. I'm gonna start the way I finished, or I'm gonna finish the way I started. We made it. Next week, Georgia football will be underway, and I absolutely cannot wait. Cannot wait. Just cannot wait. Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's a good one. Evan Grimes in the comments saying barbecue platter draft. Are we talking about like get 5 like we could do this. 5 picks, right? 5 picks. You got to have main like your meat or your main course, right? You got to have main course. We can figure something out. You can do main course, sides, shit like that. We can make it happen. Is that something we need to think about?
Yeah, it might be something we need to think about.
You get the food in here, man, and start to change my
Get the
whole mentality.
fixins.
Oh man, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Meat and sides. Oh, that's tough. Now the question is, Evan, since you're commenting, let us know. He's saying this. We need to do 3 or 5 rounds because you got meat, sides, chips, drinks, all different types of shit.
Mm-hmm.
All different types of shit. You could even include music, like maybe include music.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That cookout, the one cookout song. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. That'd be some weird shit. We're gonna have to. We'll let that marinate. See what I did there, Keon? You see what I did
Yeah,
there?
I see what you did there.
I see what you did. Yeah.
3. He said 3.
So we're looking at what? 3 rounds, meat and 2 sides,
Mm-hmm.
buddy. Oh, buddy. Listen, we gonna find out who actually been to cookouts before.
And I'm telling you.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Them cookouts be something. Them cookouts are something different. Gotta have a good old hot dog. That's what we're good for.
Oh man.
Did I do that right? I've been to the cookout. Nah. Give me some barbecue chicken and some Kool-Aid. I'll tell you right now, boy, that is a damn meal right there, boy. Grape Kool-Aid.
Man, look, barbecue.
I love some grape Kool-Aid. Ribs, brisket, buddy. I'll tell you right now. Listen, we're gonna end this, but I gotta do this. Me and the woman went to Black Powder Smokehouse up here.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, had a link of jalapeno sausage and a brisket sandwich with some mac and cheese, buddy.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you right now, it was not Lincoln Riley brisket. I'll tell you that.
There you go. There you go.
I got the meat sleep going.
Oh yeah.
I love it, boys and girls. We're done for the night. We're done for this episode. Listen, do yourself a favor. Follow us on the podcast. Follow us on social media at the DGD Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Go to our website, dgdpodcast.com. Make sure to like, follow, rate, review for those that listen on podcasts. Make sure to go follow us on X, though. Do that. But with that being said, Keon, that's all I've got. I'm assuming that's all you've got, guys. And just like Jeff Hightop says in the chat, peace. But we're gonna end this the right way. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.